This is the first time that we have ever gone live in Light the Shadows. So what I do want to say to people is, if this isn't to our best of how we're talking, the technology pumping out, the graphics, whatever it is, don't worry about it. We are just going to go in. We're going to cover what happened yesterday, which was the most incredible moment that I've experienced in a long time. So yeah, we're just going to give another minute because I want people to come on and I don't want them to miss this amazing conversation that I'm really, really looking forward to. I've been full of adrenaline, guys. I've been absolutely buzzed for the last 24 hours now. And the adrenaline, great to see you guys. Glad you can hear us. That's brilliant. That's what we wanted. At the end of the day, we just wanted quality audio and video so we can actually get through to you guys live tonight. But yeah, honestly, the adrenaline is pumping in my body, as I said, has kept me up despite me being tired as well. As some of you know, that I decided crazily to cover yesterday's marathon that Jack ran, 26.2 miles. So I thought, well, the guy's going to do it by himself. And I always think in life, 2 is better than 1. It's always good to share the load. And now I wasn't running for him, but I think me just being there might have helped some way or another. And what I will say, guys, is before I say hello to Jack and get him on, I was trying to work out, how do I approach this with Jack? Do I talk to him a lot? Do I encourage him? And I just kind of wanted to like come away from a little bit, describe my feelings on the whole marathon, all of his kindness and generosity, his hard training, what Enlighten does. So yeah, to be honest, I think I got the balance right, but we'll find out for him. So what we'll do is now, guys, we'll get Jack on and we'll say hello to him. You're right, Jack, mate?
Yeah, mate. How are you?
Oh yeah, I'm good, man. I was just saying to the viewers, this is the first time we've ever gone on a live episode. We've always done recordings, and we're actually meant to do a special episode 10 with Paolo, and Paolo's been amazing. He said, "Oh, you'll push it back to next week just because of the momentum we got." So, welcome to Enlighten the Shadows, bro.
Yes, mate. Thanks.
It's good to have you on, man. But I think what we'll do for the people is to go all the way back to like January, February time. So what I want to ask you, and I don't think I've ever asked you this in all these months, but do you know, going back January, February time, like what actually led you, bro, to like just pick Enlighten, or where did you hear about us and why did you pick us, sort of thing?
So I've been thinking for a while. So I moved into my new house back end of last year. And literally as soon as I moved in, we moved into tier 3, and I kind of had nothing to do, if that makes sense. I had nothing to work towards, and I thought I've always wanted to do a marathon, but I never really had the time to do it, whether it be because of football, because of cricket, because of social life. So I thought, you know what, it's the perfect time to try and give myself 6 to 8 weeks to try and work towards something and have a bit of an impact, not just on like the charity that I choose, which obviously turned out to be Enlighten, but for me as well, to give me a bit of purpose, to give me something to work towards in these like difficult times, rather than just sitting in the house watching Netflix all day, basically. So how I heard from Enlighten was I'm close to friends with Blaine, who obviously had quite an impact, quite involved with you, and kind of got drawn. I've obviously drawn into Blaine's story because I was with him throughout it. Watched his video with you, October, November time, I think it was.
Yeah.
And from then, basically, I thought, when I was setting out the videos, I thought, do I want this to go to a Mind, for example, where I've done a lot of work then before, or do I want to go to kind of a smaller group, I suppose, like you, where it have much more of an impact, because I could probably see the benefit a lot more, see how it could personally affect people, rather than just going to a big pool for a large charity. So that's kind of the ethos I used.
No, it's class, man. And we were quite touched because you were our first brother. Yeah, we're not adding one step to the plate and say we want to, I want to do something. I want to raise money for you guys, and we're very careful in light, and we don't want to beg bread off anyone, put them in a situation. And actually, when I was going around with you, we kept plugging the GoFundMe link, and it was quite a tricky balance in my mind because you're doing this amazing cause, and I'm thinking, well, if they want to feel inspired to give, then we've got to give them that option. But at the same time, I did make sure if people are struggling financially, like, look, don't give. Like we don't. It's a tricky one, isn't it? But
it is, yeah. Like, I never thought. Like, I remember when I first opened the page, I thought, right, people are in difficult times. A lot of my friends have been in, but they haven't got jobs. If they've lost their jobs, they've gone into lower paid jobs where they're struggling to get by. They're waiting for like normality to resume. I thought, if we can make £500 here and get the ball rolling for you guys, and like I say, it'll be unbelievable. And I think we have to extend, like, increase the limit or what we were targeting weekly. And it got
yeah,
last week it increased 5 times in £500 chunks. Like, I got an email yesterday saying your last 24 hours with GoFundMe, and the £1,700 raised in 24 hours in the day before the race. It's ridiculous. Like, it's mad. It is mad.
well, some amazing people, brother, and whoever's managed to get hold of the fact that we exist. But gosh, man, it's hard to comprehend what's been going on this weekend, and this is why, bruv, I wanted to get you on. I want to say thank you for coming on tonight last minute. Like we made this decision today, and we thought we've got to do this because I want to hear from you. Like all the emotion, the adrenaline, like has settled down a little bit, and I think it's time to reflect. And I really want the viewers to just hear your story and a bit of mine as well about what we experienced, because something is crazy about running that fast. Something is crazy about putting your body on the line like that. And I say it that confidently because what I witnessed yesterday, and I said this before to you off camera, I feel like I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. It was just something really powerful that words can't describe. So how are you feeling right now anyway, in your head and your body? What are you saying?
Well, legs wise, I think they're a myth. They're gone. I think they're still out on the Nutbrook Trail somewhere. But I think the moment I finished the race, like I put out my Instagram post, like I was just overwhelmed with emotion, really. Like the achievement of doing it, but not just the achievement on my own, like the impact everybody had that helped, like you cycling, the people like Blaine and Rich with the finish line and supporting throughout, the guys that ran with me, they all impacted in a way. Like Mikey helped us through that stretch, which was, the wind there was ridiculous. We were running to like 40-mile-an-hour winds for 6-7 miles. He was keeping the pace, and at the end to have like my brother there, Willow there, and George, like I spoke to you earlier, they all had the different impacts. Like George was very motivational. My brother was there with like the distance, like you need to work three laps of a track, blah blah. And Willow, he's a PT, so he was there with the more technical stuff, like focus on your breathing, get your posture right, and stuff like that. And all those things kind of contributed to pull through at the end. Like I generally thought, probably 35 miles in when we went into that hail, I thought I can't. I said to George, I can't do this. I'm done. He's like, no, you're not. And without that, I generally don't think I'd have been able to do it. The conditions are just a madness.
It was mental. Like for the viewers, before we go into more chat, I want to say into the comments, because I'm conscious of it right now. We've got double digits of viewers currently live. And so, guys, if you've got a question, anything you're curious about, whether it's to do with Enlighten the Shadows, what we do, what we're looking to in the future, or just right now in this moment to do with Jack and what he's doing, just put your comments in the section to the side of the screen, and we'll be honored to answer some questions you might have. But moving on, bro, I am grateful for the bike that was provided for me. However, the tires were like slightly road tires for a mountain. Honestly, there was not much teeth on those, on that rubber. And bro, when we get to that canal section, the first third, end of the last third of the marathon, and we're going out the other side of Long Eaton round to about the power station, Attenborough Reserve, I just remember like there was no grip anywhere, and literally the bike was going like this. I was literally a couple of times, I nearly went. I was like, oh my gosh. And there was you just jumping like a steeplechase race. Honestly.
Yeah, there was just no path. So I did so in the warm up to this, like each week I tried to do like a little bit longer. So my furthest run I did on the same route. I did 22 miles 2 weeks ago, and we had dry weather for like the 10 days before. I'm not even exaggerating. It was just like a nice country path. It was, conditions are ideal, flat, no puddles. I thought, God, this is gonna be easy. And we got there, and it's just like a big mud puddle for 8 miles, pretty much. And yeah, it was just hard slipping. No, like you said with the thing, I was the same. No traction, no grip, and I was just focusing on like the next bit of dry land in front of me. You know, like no floor is lava kind of thing, trying to step on the next bit to try and like get through it. It probably took a bit more out of me than I thought. At the time, it didn't feel that bad, but and like it's not good hopping through puddles for 8 miles. Definitely.
No, and you know what, bro? This is why I wanted to go live. I feel like there was so much going on throughout that 26.2 miles that I was pulling out myself about life. Like it was deeper than just a run, and because of the cause of why you were doing it, I'm quite a metaphorical guy, and I was like pulling out all sorts. Like every mile that was going by, it was like, right, I've passed that checkpoint. And I think life's like that, isn't it? We've had a really tough year as a nation, as the world, and like it's hard to just look at the finish line per se and go, right, I'm gonna get there. And in the comments, Jando's at the wheel. Yes, Connor. And we've got a question for you, brother, and it's related to what I'm saying. Like sometimes life can be so freaking overwhelming when we're in the moment, and it's like that. I can't imagine what it was like for you in the run, but my wife's actually asking you, did you ever feel like you wanted to actually just give up? And what was your motivation to keep going, man?
Yes, yes and no, really. Like I kind of knew in my head I never would stop, even if it meant walking for half a kilometre to get it. Like I always knew I'd finish, injuries aside, kind of thing. But there were points in there that were difficult. That when we were coming around the bend from like where Wilsthorpe School Eaton Farm is, you know, where it started hailing and you're trying to cycle up, like the hail, I'm not even exactly, it was vertical into your face. You're running into 40 mile an hour winds. And I think we've still got 8. That was the point where I'd got to my furthest distance previously. So that was like the 22 mile walk mark. I never ran that far ever. So it's not like I could, like next time I do a marathon, for example, I could get to that point and think, right, I got through this last time, so I can plod along for another 2 miles, get through this, and it will get easier. Whereas that point, I was thinking, like, I don't know if I've got that. I don't know if I've got this in the locker, kind of thing. And like I said a minute ago, without you, without George, without people like, or even Buzzy and people like that, I don't think I would have. Definitely not at the pace I did do it. But then like the little things they were saying, like get around this bend and we'll work towards the end. Like you're breaking miles, blah blah blah. Like me and my mates are never nice to each other. Like we just take it at each other.
Yeah.
It kind of meant a bit more that they were being so sincere, and like the way they were talking to me was like so proudly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what made me stick at it, I suppose.
I sensed it massively. Like I feel like every lad that did their stint, you know, distance of course as well for the viewers' sake, like it was incredible. It was just that boost that I sense you needed at those times of your run. And honestly, the brotherhood, the questions are piling in, guys. Thank you. We're gonna answer these. The brotherhood that was popping off, I was like, I was like trying to gauge, like, oh, is he gonna get annoyed if I try shout too much, trying to get him going? But as you say, the balance was there beautifully. And George, my gosh, George needs to come on board and light us something, because the guy is just a beast. He just kept the encouragement. I loved it.
Mate, don't blow smoke up him.
But this is what's beautiful about masculinity, is that when it comes to the crunch in life, like it's not a joke anymore. Like I'm all for banter, having a laugh in life and that, but when I think they saw something was special was going on too, and I think they were like, this is serious, man, and he needs me right now. And I could see it on you. When I was commentating, I was like, it's really hurting him now. You can see, and he's having to dig deep. And bro, they were just right by your side, and that's what I feel what Enlighten's all about, like just brothering one another.
It fits the message. Like Blaine said at the end of the live feed, it fits the message and like kind of your ethos perfectly. That's what it's all about. And it's kind of what we need life to be about. We need more people, more communities to be supportive, positive. We don't need negative to do, really.
No, forget it. But yeah, they had their banter anyway, and your thank you, sorry, in your good luck video. But full on dad bod. No dad bod no more, brother.
No, it's back after all the pizza.
I was gonna say you're on the sweaty takeaways now.
100%, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you another question from Stevie Rose, one of our boys. He's saying, what was the worst part of the whole route? He's saying that I know the canal was windy. You mentioned further in Long Eaton. But for you, what was the worst part of the whole race?
I'd probably say the start, like the canals, the like running, like it's not made to run on. Puddles aren't made to run on, especially not for that duration. And it was like it was never ending, wasn't it? Like you just looked ahead and all you could see was water. And it's just
And the Trent next year.
yeah, exactly. Probably better swimming, to be fair.
Triathlon.
It was just draining looking at it, thinking this is just long. It's just long. It was not ending. But then it got to that point where we broke off and through Beast Marine and like, right, we've got some concrete here. As weird as that sounds, and it was like quite a bit of a boost, like mentally. So I'd probably, yeah, that was definitely the bit that was most difficult to get.
Do you know what I loved as well?
We were on our own there as well. We didn't have like the boys with us. It was just me and you, and it was as hard for you cycling through it as it was me running through it. So we didn't have the other lads chipping in.
Thanks, bro, for your empathy. But I'll take that. But I don't know. I'm not saying anything about anything right now. You're the man, bro. I was just inspired by you. I had no excuse. I kept going. But another question we got is what? Oh yeah, so it's about the money.
Yeah.
I guess this is for me. Do you want to ask it? What do you know yet how the money will be spent? Go on and ask me that question. So go on, bro.
Hi Rory, Jack here from the marathon. Do you know how you'll be spending the money?
No, Jack, I'm not sure yet. No, I could just answer like that, and that'll be that's all I have to say. But no, we want to be very transparent with people, and that's one part of integrity that we want to represent in Light. And so, to answer the question, guys, we are going to have a meeting this month. To be blunt, we want to wait for the money to come in. It's all right to say, oh, we'll spend on this, and invest and save the rest and that, but we don't actually know how much money's coming in yet. And Jack and I, before we went on camera tonight, didn't we, bro? We checked it again, and it's like 3,700. Yeah, it's just, it's incredible. And as you said, did it say you went 24 hours, 1,600 quid or something, Daft?
£1,700, like the Friday and Saturday morning. Yeah,
madness, mate. So, guys, we want to be very, 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 very sensible with this money. We don't take this lightly whatsoever, and I say that from the whole team's perspective. And so we've got a meeting at the end of this month. We want to strategize, want to thrash it out. But generally speaking, we want to improve our digital marketing. So our online presence, website's getting done already. So we want to create a videography, make it look sick, hook people in. We want to pay for advertisements. So we want to get our posters out there, stickers out there. We want to pay for advertising online, get the message out there, hook more men in so we can support them. And we've got some other plans moving forward, but spoiler alert, we won't say anything more on that. So I hope that answers the question. I didn't want to sound like a politician there, but I can't fully answer it. How's he feeling today? Rich is saying, generally speaking, in 2 sentences, how are you feeling today, Jack?
Tired. Yeah, it's more. I think it's more mental rather than like my legs are a little bit like dead, I suppose, a bit tender, but I think it was just the whole thing was very draining, like emotionally as well as physically and mentally. So I'll be all right. I think big night sleep, get my 12 hours in tonight, and I'll be sound.
I want to talk about that. That's part of it. We got Connor Parker. We're just going to talk about emotionally. We're gonna talk about that. But I think Connor's more of a encouragement here, brother. So Connor Parker saying, all jokes aside, Jando, top lad for what you've done, bro, for good cause, something close to my heart. And if it goes on to help only one person in the future, it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Beautiful. I love that. Thanks, Connor, bro. Appreciate the love. Emotionally. So I texted you last night, didn't I? And I saying, bro, you still up? I went to bed at 9 o'clock. I was physically in my eyes, my body was shot, man. And I went to bed at 9. I just couldn't sleep.
No.
There was a lot going on in my head. It was the adrenaline, it was the emotion. Like, how have you felt, particularly in the last 24 hours since you've done it? Like, emotionally, what have you learned and what are you feeling?
I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm blowing smoke in my own arse, but like proud, like really proud. And like I said, my mates aren't ever nice. Like we just that's like we are. Like lads just take the piss out of each other, and the messages and stuff I've been getting of like heartwarming, I suppose, like, and the fact that, like you say, like what Connor just said, if it could help one person, like everybody knows somebody that's going through something, whether they know the deep depths of it or not. So the emotion that, like, every time I was running, I was thinking, oh God, this is hard work. I was thinking this money could really impact somebody. It could save somebody's life. So yeah, it's just the proudness around all that, really, I suppose.
Yeah, man, that's what George was saying to you a lot in the last 2 or 3 miles. He's like, think about the lives it's gonna save, and I was like, man, this guy gets it. Like, and George comes across as like a guy who's full of the bants and Jack the lad, but he spoke from the heart yesterday, and I think that's what got me. Like, it wasn't just a marathon run. Like, I mean, I came up to you and told you I love you. What's that about? Like, you know, yeah, hey, mate, big softy, me. I did. I spoke from the heart. In the moment, I was like, yeah, love you, man. I can't believe you've done this. It's just incredible.
I think they're doing it with, like, obviously, if I did like London Marathon, for example, there's loads of people involved, so you probably get absorbed into everybody's going through the same emotion. Whereas there, it's kind of like, it's just me doing this, like, and to have the support of like some of my close mates running it with me, this meant a lot more. Like, they were involved, and they genuinely wanted me to do well and succeed, and that went a long way as well.
Yeah, man, definitely. We got another one. Have you got the marathon bug now?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. My little legs will cope with that. I think I do want to do like a proper one, like in a race. Well, definitely not this year. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, probably next summer potentially, but we'll see.
I want to ask you about your watch.
Yeah. Oh.
Because, you know, for any runner, your watch is massively important. It helps you out in many ways. So, like, take us through what was going on. Whereabouts roughly in the race did it happen, and what was going on in your head when your watch just broke down?
Bit of a meltdown, really. Like, panic. Everything running wise, like, you calculate your time, you calculate your splits, you calculate how long's left, like, and what time you can do it in, for example. And it got to like 38k, which is probably 24 miles-ish, 24 and a half miles. And it beat up like 10% battery. I was like, oh no, like, it's not going to make it. And then what happened, I don't know if you got an Apple, with Apple Watch, they just die straight away when it says power reserve, that's it, they're done. So it plodded along to like 40k and it just went. And I reckon if I was doing that on my own, I'd have just walked. I'd have thrown my toys out of the pram and just walk the rest of the distance. But you hear on the live feed, George is like, forget about it, bro, forget about it. And Bill said, oh, don't worry, I've got the distance. There's 4 laps of a running track left, blah, blah, blah. You've got this, don't bother you, and stuff like that. So again, it pulls into, without that, I'd have struggled. Like, when do I keep running to? Like, how fast am I going? Stuff like that. So yeah, it was a bit surreal, really. You need to improve the batteries, really, Apple, if you can do that for us.
Yeah, have a word with them. I can't speak about my Apple Watch. Yeah, I broke mine. Yeah, the whole freaking shell of it. I was absolutely wounded about that. Rich, actually, one of our team, he got an upgrade for free, so he gave it. And I was like, "Oh, what do you want?" And he was like, "No, just have it." And I've had it, and it was really blessing me. Like, say you got it monitors all your steps, everything. I was loving it.
Fast. They are fast.
Yeah, but you'll have a Galaxy lover probably come up, and Samsung watch people. Garmin's are going to be like slagging Apple off now.
But the watches are available.
Yeah. Richard asking, Jack, what's the best bit of advice that you can give? Oh, Rory, me, as he plans to run the marathon late in the year. Good advice. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that question.
Probably like get a strict plan. So my training plan was quite short. It was obviously only 6 weeks, but I've been running quite a lot, probably from lockdown 1, to be honest, because there's not really much else to do. So I was kind of already probably primed at running like 5-10Ks, for example. So I already had that base endurance, I suppose. But in my first couple of weeks training, in the first week I think it was a 16 miler, and I could have easily carried on. But I spoke to a couple of lads I know that have done marathons and said, look, stick to your plan, stick to your paces that you've got on your mind, and stick to your plan, and don't overdo it because you'll burn out. So get that plan like drawn out, print it out, stick it on a notice board or whatever, and stick to. Don't think, oh, my body's feeling okay, we can do this, save it in the tank
Yeah.
for week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, where you can gradually progress and you can track it a lot better. So that'd be what I'd say would be the main thing.
Appreciate it, man. I'm going to start running to work because, and this for everyone, anyone watching, like this ain't just about, oh, my marathon. This is to inspire anyone to into any exercise. I think there's some principles we can pick out here. Like if you're inspired by Jack's marathon run, like make a plan, print it out, as you said, stick it somewhere. And so my thing is, I'll make excuses and I'll leave it longer and go, oh, no, that's all right, I'm naturally fit, so it'd be fine. But watching that yesterday, wow, absolutely grimacing. And I worked it out. What you did distance wise is like me running from my house to work, city centre, back again, back to work again, back to my house again, and then back to work. That's about 25.5 miles. And you did that. And I'm like, wow. So I think starting now, I've got no excuses, bro. I'm gonna make myself run to work because I have to go to work. I can't not go. So that's my finish lines.
I think, that's the thing. You just got to be strict. Like, if I was to do a run yesterday, like say if I had another week's training in those conditions, you probably wouldn't want to do it. But doing it in those conditions will sort of train you and make your body used to running in the wind, in the rain and stuff. So when you do have to do it again, it's obviously easier. It sounds common sense, but you just got to be strict.
Definitely, man. But yeah, no, it's really good, and I'm glad that we did this tonight and came on. Before we do go, because I'm conscious, like usually our episode's about 50 minutes, 60 minutes, but I feel like we don't need to ask you anything more. But before, we're not closing this chat at all at the minute. These t-shirts, brother, these bad boys, you rocked them out yesterday. Here we go. Mate, honestly, the amount of people who walked by and they were like, oh, what's on that t-shirt? Genuinely, people asking about them. And
like a lot of my mates in my group chat say, oh, wait, can we buy them? So yeah, I think they're just impactful, aren't they? Like if I just run it in a plain Nike t-shirt, it would have probably not felt as official or not felt like there was much purpose to it. So yeah, they need to be done, don't it?
Yeah, they're class, mate.
Yeah.
All the gear, mate. No, they look class, and that's another thing that we want to do at Enlighten. We want to create more awareness and reduce stigma. So what we would like to do is offer people to buy them for a certain amount of money. Jando's Derby Rams, proud of you, bro. Adam Ruston, go on, son. But yeah, on a level though, we want to offer these for people to buy, so then it can create more money in the pot, and then also they're actually being a messenger. And I think that's what we want to do in Enlighten is that curiosity. They see a logo and they're like, right, what's with that brain in the bulb? Like, so what's that about? And even in gyms, getting people chatting, which is a very hard thing to do, I think, because people they zone out with their headphones on. Yeah, we're going to be selling those in the near future. We want to big you up, bro, because you helped us out with getting a contact to sort the printing out. Nice one for that.
All right, no dramas.
Simple as that, easy.
Simple as that.
I just want to say to everyone as well, if lastly, if you haven't given and you want to give, can I get one of my team, either Rich or Stevie Rose, to try and copy and paste in the comments in the section below right now? So that's an option there. But also, if you want to Google it, you literally type in Jack Anderson birthday marathon run. That would be amazing. Even if it's a £5, £1, whichever, it's going to make a difference, guys. Trust me. That could be the difference between having 5 to 10 less leaflets that not as many people see. I mean, we just don't know. I think that's the beauty of our work. We don't know who it's saving and how many it's saving. Make those teas purchasable. He's on it. Before you leave, ask Jando where he keeps his carrots.
Private one, that
private banks. Leave that. We'll leave that in the dark. We'll leave that in the shadows. But no, what I want to say to you, brother, it absolutely means the world to us. We're so grateful for what you did yesterday. I can't express it, the gratitude we have for it, and we hope as well that you like the finish line.
Yeah, I did. It was a bit of a touch, that was.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was good. I was worried that the boy was going to try and pick me to it, to be honest. But Bill was giving it the big, and Sir George, like, I'm going to beat him, I am.
I heard him. I heard him say, "I don't give a bigger." Like, flipping out, you only ran about 5 miles.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I spoke to him again after that. If you did.
I was a bit nervous about the finish line with the Velcro because we were like, oh, what happens if he's absolutely knackered and he tries to run it and just like falls over because it's
Pops
like,
over.
no, it's all good, bro. But
No,
no, thank you, man.
all right.
Appreciate you. So how long for the viewers? How long have they got to donate till? Because obviously, I want to make sure aware that there might be people that still haven't given who are not in a position to, but they want to. So how long till the deadline? Do you know?
I think the page shuts on, I think, the end of the month. So it runs, oh no, it might be the first week of April actually. And so it'll run for a few months. So yeah, obviously there's time to donate. People, if they want to wait till payday, whatever. So I'm never going to beg people to pay, but if you're in a position, if we could push $4,000, it'd be mad. Like, it generally would be mad.
You believe that?
Mm.
Absolutely incredible. But yeah, man, thank you so much for it. Thank you for coming on tonight. Appreciate you, bro. And we'll definitely be speaking soon for sure. I feel like something special's happened here. So yeah, it's good to look forward to the future. But yeah, man, you're top guy. Thank you. Amazing. Class effort.
No worries, mate. Nice one.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This has been our first live at Enlighten the Shadows. If you want to check out our social media, our handle is at Enlighten the SH1. And if you've come on here for the first time and you've not experienced this, just below, obviously, there'll be a red button that says subscribe. If you can do that, that'd be absolutely fantastic so we can get more reach on the internet. And that's our aim at the end of the day, guys. We just want to support and help so many men as possible as we continue to grow. That is our heart. We want to prevent male suicide, but ultimately we want to transform and empower men so that they have a safe environment to think and speak freely. That is what we're about. That's our mantra in life. So yeah, we appreciate you guys and thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Nice one, Jack, mate.